One-make formulas aren't new in motorsport, but there is a lot to like about them, not just because it keeps costs down and, as we often say, makes the playing field level from a componentry standpoint, but Dean, there is something new on the horizon here for the Australian Rally Championship, and hopefully it's going to unearth some talent too.
Absolutely. I mean, we know Subaru, and particularly that WRX, is quite iconic in the Australian Championship, but to have new models and manufactured with new models in the Championship is exciting, and it's forming in the way of the WRX Challenge, which we sort of touted last year and had one Scott Petter testing it, and a good enough formula and enough confidence from the brand and from the series that we're first rounds this weekend.
I think Scott's exact words were, as we go and check out those cars, it's the most fun he's ever had in a rally car. So to the naked eye, it just looks like a WRX, but you look inside and things like that, the presence of a roll cage, the stance of the car on the road, I mean, it is ready for rally, but still with its production roots, isn't it?
The big thing you can see here, straight away, that is no different to the WRX you get off the showroom floor. Like literally the engine, gearbox, rear diff is standard. The only hint you can see of the rally stuff is the top marks of the suspension. We need to beef the cars up for rally, in regards to sump guards, the protection underneath, the wheels to have the MRF tyre on them, etc. So it's literally taking, as we used to say, the showroom car and putting it out there to the elements, which Subaru love as well, because we know how good the WRX is, and this is probably the roughest, toughest events or motorsport for the year, and we're able to take a production car and put it on the stages.
It's not new for Subaru to be playing in the Australian Championship with a one-make formula. If you cast your mind back about 20 years ago, they had the RS Challenge, but a lot of learnings out of that have been applied to the WRX Challenge.
That was 20 years ago, probably arguably one of the best one-make series, lots of cars. The difference now with safety and I guess with regulations and also how smart the cars are, the bits you can't see underneath here is trying to make things like that we take in the road car sense, the VDC, the ABS systems that we don't want in a rally car. How do we trick the cars nowadays, or basically work on them to make sure that we can go rallying with them? Is a lot of work in the background for these cars. But ultimately, yeah, we bring these cars to being basically a turnkey operation. The idea is that you rock in, can run, they're ready to go. Some of the challenges in the past have been, here's a cheap car, put your own cage in it, and we'll see how we go, and you're all roughly the same. These are literally built all the same, right down to the last nut and bolt.
And they don't sound too bad either. And this guy and his father and the team at Maximum Motorsport know about this acutely, because a lot of countless man hours have been spent building the cars, perfecting them, and getting them ready. So really cool to have a number of them here at Gippsland this weekend. Why don't we take a look at the inside of it?
I reckon you take a seat, Rusty. I'm going to get you in one of these. You hop in the driver's seat, actually, have a look. So, when you hop in, or close the door, you lean in. Not quite your seat position, I don't think. You're pretty low.
But it looks like a normal road-going WRX. I mean, you've got standard steering wheel and all sorts.
Well, the thing is, nowadays, everything's integrated together from, our infotainment system in the centre. It actually still works, by the way. One of the reasons Scotty loved it so much, he said, I had Spotify on, I could bring people on the Bluetooth. And you wouldn't have that in a rally car per se, but when they're all the same, it doesn't matter, because you're not trying to beat the other competitor. And one of the things about production at the moment, which is very exciting, there's probably $100,000 difference between some of the production cars we see in the championship and some of the sort of the older models, and there's a 20-year time gap. These all being the same in current, like you said, it's all the safety gear, the seats, the harnesses, and they're all good quality machinery work, an integrated roll cage, all ready to go racing. And it's got a logbook with Motorsport Australia, there's a jack in the back, a fire system, a firebomb. So it's safety, and the premise from Subaru was fun, safe and reliable. I think we've ticked those boxes. I'm pretty nervous about the weekend, because it is, although we've tested it with Scott and it went remarkably well, to have three really good guys this weekend who are pioneering them, servicing all together. It's got a great feel about it. But with that, like I said, success for me on the weekend would be smiles on their face, the cars being reliable and having a great time. And then we'll know how the battle goes as well. They'll all be I say that, they'll want to beat each other, but it's going to be an interesting weekend.
I think the smiles are absolutely guaranteed. Well done to everybody involved for having the cars here for this round of the championship. And I gather there's a number of people on the sidelines looking very closely at it that we could see behind the wheel of one of these cars in rounds to come.